Yeah. Without further ado, let's begin.
The whole situation is so confusing.
I do have some thought.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Oh yeah.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lyney and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands.
Yeah, that's true.
Besides, I doubt Furina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah.
Finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
Pretty good. I'm pretty sure what's going
You
on.
might be disappointed.
Come on. No, but I'm gonna figure it
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence.
Are we sure about that? I'm pretty sure in real life that happen a lot. That some are guilty one always escape and the innocent always get.
But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Man, I understand her reason for doing all of this. I kind of feel sad for her. The man, what can I say? I had 5. The one question where you're going to start in lava.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
Musa Novella, let's just begin.
Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Lyney explain the trick?
Yes,
sure.
of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Then Carey reveal the details of the magic to everyone in the audience.
Thank you, Mr. Lyney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Sorry, Lumin, but I'm a little busy. You ran into... Yes.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Furina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Lyney is clearly lying.
That point.
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
Can you say that? Wait a minute. I just thought when she said this thing. I'm not going to say anything.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Isn't most of the court cases go?
Is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all?
Now that's
Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
Just like I suddenly remember.
But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Yeah. Lyney.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah, how can Lyney not know about that sound? Because he wasn't in the box.
I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Yeah.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
That they probably represent the orky sand on the trial. I know the truth.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid.
Damn.
Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Heart?
Oh my god, I need to be shocked. I doesn't know this from the very beginning. Like, in the trailer, it doesn't reveal something like this. I need to be shocked. Oh my god. Oh my god, how can this be? So suspense. It's a plot twist I never expected.
The House of the Heart?
They are for you. Oh, come on. Anyone can see that one. If you guys actually started
No
the show.
wonder they did something like this.
Oh, come on. I know for you are pretty shitty organization, but not that much.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I know Fatui had nothing to do with this, but I can actually see them doing something like this, especially that one guy, the second album, the Tore. But they have nothing to do with this.
I've got a feeling that what happened on
Thank you. Oh, come on. Everyone knows the version text now. Shut up.
That's irrelevant. Our identities
Yeah.
have nothing to do with what happened.
It's not their fault.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first
Yeah.
priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Damn.
The Outlander is speechless. My,
Ah,
oh my,
very funny.
don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting in Discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
Easy. No, yeah, I got this.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
I have to say something. Furina has pretty good network. Like, she knows a lot of things. I know a lot of things about us.
Hey, Lyney, why didn't you tell us this before?
Yeah. Lyney later for
Order!
Zhongli.
Mr. Lyney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Furina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are
This
both
is a-
members of the House of the Hearth.
Yeah, that's not
Are
that
these
surprising.
claims true?
There's no doubt about the magician's ability to con others. And given how Lyney has considered it, this could all be a setup beforehand. Plus, Charles is here in Fontaine with the other house of the operator. There must be some scheme at work here. Of course, they need noses, right? Isn't it the whole point of this game? What are you goal? Damn. I've been victims to this scheme before now.
Please answer my question, Mr. Lyney.
Calm down, Mr. Nuret. For what a voice.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
Shut up. Shut up about yourself. I still have a
What should
trump
we
card in
do
my sleeve.
now?
Permission to speak, Your Honor. Objection.
Granted.
My client has written some key information. My defense
In
cannot.
that case, what is your request?
I request a bit adjustation. There are things that must be. But we need to
Is
think.
that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
Just like your father.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
That's what your mom said to you. That's what your mom said to you.
Order! Order, I say!
Zhongli.
Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
See, Mr. Nuret is a big. Mr. Nuret is a smart one here.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that
Yeah.
case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Let's go. The code is just and you're meeting with Lynn backstage in Opera. So, tell us something.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
oh come on, don't worry, I already know about this.
Yeah. Sorry.
Like, the heroes don't even try to hide this fact.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys.
Oh, come on, Paimon. Forty aren't the bad guys. Consider what Celestia has done.
Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's even my own eyes. I know how it's...
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
The Fatui wanna save people. This time they're allies.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends.
I mean,
that's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
I think that's more of a considered fact the lie. I mean, you don't tell us and we don't ask you, so it's kind of reasonable. But how can we know this isn't all just another lie? That's true.
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point.
To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I imagine too much. Plus, I'm not going to talk anything.
You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too.
Nah.
But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Oh, in this one,
Sorry.
right?
Please forgive us.
Don't look at me with these eyes, Lynette. Fuck.
Well,
I mean,
you both say that, but...
where would you actually, where would you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it.
I'm pretty sure Oratic has its own will, and I'm pretty sure I know. Just like I said, just like you guys, I'm here to recap myself for what's going on in Genshin Impact. Yeah, I haven't played for almost 3 years, so I'm just here to recap myself. But I pretty much know the lore of this game, so I just wait.
From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. You guys enjoy for yourself. But I think I know what's going on.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box.
Clap, please clap. In 75 seconds, he was able to do all this. I guess they are something for you.
So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That
And
air
what did you
vent was
find?
created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
And what did you find?
Nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice.
Oh yeah. Oratrice are alive.
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That
Oh, I'm
voice
pretty
seemed
sure
to
you wasn't.
recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After
Let's
that,
go.
the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
So why do you want to understand how the
Because of
outbreak
that prophecy I told you about, of
Yes, of
course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry if I do any pronunciation wrong, unless it's not my first language.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time.
Okay.
It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either.
Well, I can understand from their perspective too.
But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Oh, don't worry. I trust the Fatui, at least for some member, not entire Fatui. There are some people in Fatui that I can never trust, but there are some I will.
Well, Traveler, you decide.
Not with my life, but
Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I believe in facts. I will defend you from the charges.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks
Sure.
for giving us a chance.
You're welcome.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two.
Don't worry, I
If we
got
want
this.
to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Actually, we already have the key evidence we need. Lyney was never in the murder scene, which means he can't do it. The judgment is almost over. Let's go over.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Paimon, looks like you're getting a little smarter. Let's go. I got this one. Let's go.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial.
Yes.
When last we left off, Mr. Lyney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Furina as fact. Therefore, Lady Furina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
Let's go.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Lyney's perspective.
Oh, is it any? Based on the project, I know this one.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the boss to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing
To be honest,
her.
this is also a pretty possible scenario. I have to say, Lady Furina is pretty good at this.
At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having
But
heard
the problem
that
is
strange
timing. How much
noise,
time?
and caught Lyney red-handed.
In environment time, or doing all of this is pretty much
So
impossible.
Lyney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Lyney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
There's pretty much two factors. First of all, the robust inflammable material, which means the action is supposed to be happen.
And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
By the way, art style is pretty good, I have to say
Does the
this.
defendant's side have any objections to Lady Furina's
Objection.
description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Furina
Hey,
is
dog.
the order of events, what Lyney experienced, and what he saw.
Yeah. So, move forward. Lyney claim.
According to Lyney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
That's true. What is this? No one left the opera house during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who heard their identity came back. I see. Then he claimed to have heard a mysterious voice within the chamber. This must. So, during the Switch performance, there was an audio thumb. This one.
Lyney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Yeah. Is it recording? For a second, I thought it wasn't. I was scared about it. He couldn't have locked her down. No one left the opera house. Yes.
Lyney did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
This is a whole truth event.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the
Say.
countdown started, Lyney did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored.
First question: should we tell this? What they go there?
Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Innocent. The music is pretty nice, I have to say this. The music. See, I'm smart.
I did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
Good job, Paimon. First time you do something good.
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
Moreover, I believe my opponent reason is follow. Yeah.
My reasoning?
The on-stage equipment was scary tempered with the what was that? What is it? Within a primitive fashion. However, you said the car would bump into Lyney by chance. That's true. The setup was, just like I said, the setup was made to kill someone. And why?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel,
They will explain far better
was
than
the
me.
entire setup meant to kill?
Yeah.
Assuming that what you say is true, Lyney only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Can I say it?
Oh, they have a point.
Thank you.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Thank you, Naya.
Well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your
Do
claim?
you happen to remember how you refuted Lyney alibi?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you
Become
ask?
alibi. Come on.
You're saying that he wasn't.
See, you literally make it clear that he wasn't now. Your claim has now become my weapon. Your claim has become my vehicle. Yeah, but there's no proof that he also got in the basement. What the fuck I'm saying? I'm supposed to defend my client. No, need to prove against him. Your claim has now become my weapon. Also, okay, now let's see what claim we have now. Damn. Harry is a missing person. See, famous part. Okay. Doing the search for him. There was an audience. Come with me. There.
That's right!
Smart.
Lyney wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything
Makes sense,
strange
why
during
would
the
he hear?
performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lyney had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Pretty good.
Well played.
Yeah.
To think you'd use such logic.
But I'm pretty sure this one.
Well then, if it wasn't Lyney who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Who was it? The murderer was. I'm not going to read it. If Lyney is no longer under suspicion, only the other members are two could have been individual. Sorry for this. Someone has been. Lyney gave a detailed account of how trick was supposed to work. Why a box inside a box? The idea was for the box to continue the audience member to be transport across the underground. Lyney himself would also use this tunnel to get. Having changed her outfit, Lyney and her assistant would take changes. The claws belong to Hasi, the lady who went missing. Where found the reason for this remain unknown.
Could there have been a third person involved?
Nah.
Is that really a possibility? The deceased's name is Cowell, Lyney's assistant.
I
He
see.
would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
The fact that Halsey doesn't know about the magic trick, and how would she do something like this? That's it. Unless this is why I was shocked that he is the one. See? I already cut earlier, guys.
That can't be right. Are you serious?
I already give you a hint. Who will be?
The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
The pop. The start of it. Remember the rope we made? Rope that's made of cotton, the fire material. God has access to all these crops, so he might have a chance.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Yeah. There's one clue.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
No, what is
The
it?
deceased's name is Cowell, Lyney's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Yeah.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that
Sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's just begin. This one?
the sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
Yeah. Is it on? Yeah.
Lyney was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Yeah. Wait, what? How can I be wrong?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The deceased's name is Cowell. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Lyney as well.
Yeah.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between them.
Wait a
No one
minute.
entered or left the opera house through its entrance.
Yeah. What? Do we even know where? Wait a minute. Camera, did you ever consider Paul? Did you even know where Halsey went? Where is she?
It would have been tough for both people to fit in. The sound we heard may have come from a. The deceased's name is.
Am I so dumb?
Halsey's clothing was in.
Good job. Let's see.
No one entered or left the op.
Am I dumb?
It would have been tough for both.
Am I dumb? Am I really dumb? The camera must understand the matter behind the melee magic. Must be in a position to easily modify the equipment. Leaving aside how he died, Karen had all the means to commit the crime at this disorder. The same noise could likely be helped is the sound of Halsey gets away. What if I have a theory, but I'm not. Wait a minute. Let's just begin. Lyney was not in China for 1 minute. Just would give time for Karen to bring Halsey out of the magic box in audience time. But according to the guard system, no one entered or left the opera house. So even if he had taken her, they know exactly. Exactly from the box would have been in full view of the audience. Pretty much guaranteed that they would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the fuck did Halsey go?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
No.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track?
Yeah,
Just
I'm
like the
telling
trick
you.
as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely.
That's
It's
true.
not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Thank you, Paimon, for giving us the clue. So you answered they expect something to do with prophecy, so it's not so magic escape from the water tank. But could Halsey be the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
Don't worry. The delay is happening because we want to make the best product. I'm already going to give you something good.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Please. Objection!
Lyney was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
So,
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
true,
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lyney's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
true.
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
The people will dissolve into water. Let's go. You know what we are saying is pretty fucked up, but
Paimon gets it! It all
That's the
comes
entire plot of
together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped.
I mean, this is entirely the plot of this entire quest, so I guess
Lynette
Archon quest Fontaine.
escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If
Yeah.
there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water.
Just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment.
Her eyes, they sound sad rather than being something. Now, if she already know about the prophecy,
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
now think, I'm gonna give you an explanation why Lady Furina, she knows this can be a pep. She doesn't want to do this, bring this here because that will fear the crowd. She doesn't want her people to fear that they will dissolve in water or anything. They will live in fear, but that's also might be the wrong here. What I'm trying to say, you're going to find animals at 5, so I'm not going to say anything. Let's go. Ignore me. I request that you examine your personal affair.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Lyney already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment. The
Thank
truth
you.
must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since
Yeah.
Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him.
That's true.
But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
Yeah.
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable
Thank
request
you.
on the part of an attorney.
But,
Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress.
I have to say something. Why is he sitting like this? Like he's almighty. I mean, what I'm saying, it's Mr. Novelak.
Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
Let's go. After some time, I got it and white news.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
What? Oh, the bad word of a primordial one.
The primordial sea.
You know something about
Those
it?
contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice.
Yeah, so much innocent victim. So much for an innocent victim. The guy is a drug dealer. So much innocent victim. Oh.
The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject.
Another test subject. Totore. Nah, it's not him. As much I love to see him in Fontaine, he's not in this nation.
As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Well, just what do you expect from the audience reaction when you
Could
tell them
something
this?
so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Nah.
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowl was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Oh, looks like I also find it out.
What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Yeah.
Order! Order!
Order! Zhongli.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found.
Yeah.
Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Lyney,
Sure.
it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Yes, begin.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right!
Oh.
Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
I'm sorry if any sound came from outside. I'm sorry. Just like I said in my previous video, I have no control over that.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lyney's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
That is true.
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering.
Sure.
The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box.
That's true.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this?
No.
I remember there was something else within the inner layer.
And done. I'm smart. What I'm doing? I just think about it. What I'm doing with my life. I should be a detective. A police officer.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel.
What is it?
And wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his track.
That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Thank you.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, It seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death.
Don't worry, Lady Furina, everyone make mistake. I still support you.
His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Lyney's personal effects.
What? What the fuck?
That's definitely be fame.
What?
That can't be.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you.
I'm pretty sure
Does this
I'm
not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
Yeah.
Lyney did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Lyney desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime.
There's no reason for him to do that, first of all. This reason is fraud. Why would he even do this? What the point if he get informed?
Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
I mean, Fatui is, technically, but not Lyney. That's much I know.
Am I right, Mr. Lyney?
There are two fraud in this story. There's no make sense that would even try to kill his own people. Why would Fatui even do this? There's no reason for him to do this. Second, what will we even gain doing that?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here.
Come on, Tav.
Is this the end of the road?
No.
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale.
The finale. Wait a minute.
Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Fuck. Come on, don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes.
I do.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Don't worry, Lyney.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again?
Yeah.
And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lyney and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf.
Yes.
But as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
Yeah.
I understand.
Let's go.
And voila.
Voila. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
No, that was true. That's 100% true.
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it, she caught me.
Oh, come on. Before I caught you.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin?
4. Including me.
I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
Wow.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Mondstadt?
I heard that Lyney's show was going to be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one.
Bro, you go from a nation of freedom to the nation of law.
That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before.
I don't think you should say this in a court with such a proud smile.
But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lyney was the one who caught me in the act.
No wonder she looked familiar. So she was at NPC number 56.
Hey! No wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief! Lyney even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me.
Wow, what a coincidence.
He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure.
Girl, you're not in the nation of freedom.
So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me.
Well, she isn't from Fontaine, so...
I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box.
Damn. Wait, I have to say, what the most thing people are doing? She just knocked him down. Damn.
There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
If they are practice a hand or concern in prophecy, a professional thief could make it.
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Wow.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's time to refuse a hide or Argon previous,
This time,
isn't it?
we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Lillian. Let's just go. Come on.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Damn. This will be
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowl.
Damn, Lyney. And this man will come here.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
Eden, why you sound so proud of this?
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time!
Come on,
Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowl leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowl with no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
What is venting feeding his people, bro? They are pretty strong. Even the NPCs there, even normal citizens are pretty strong in Mondstadt. What is it? Well, I guess we win. Nah, I win.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So
yeah.
She has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
Oh, the reason why I have to figure this out is because of Macron.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Thank you.
Bravo! Bravo!
Yeah, bravo, bravo. What a act 1.
Now then, Lady Furina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements?
No.
Please answer the question, Lady Furina.
Damn, this guy.
Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
He's like, you aren't going anywhere. Oh, I also do have so much love for the Archons, I can understand.
What? Are you reading my mind now?
Fine.
No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Is it me, or when I look at her eyes, it seems like she's sad, like always sad. I noticed this few times, but when I look at it, I don't know, just my feeling. And it's probably because I already know her story, that's why I think see her that way, because I can't really see her the same way when I first time see her play this one. Want some dignity.
Wow! Look at that! She's like a
Shut up,
deflated
Paimon.
balloon now.
Shut up, Paimon.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid.
Well, it could be pretty good narrator if we think about it. I think about it.
He passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim.
Yes, I guess
Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house.
Bro, I have to say, the karma came for this guy is pretty bad. The karma. I guess this makes sense.
As for Lyney, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Lyney, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Lyney and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately.
Yeah.
This
I need
case,
to
at
talk to
least,
that guard.
can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
I need to talk to that guard who bring that evidence. Where the fuck he get that? Let's go. Oh, started. What gonna get? Please be a 5-star, 5-star. Good one. 5 fly. Let's see what we're gonna get. So what we get?
As such, Lyney and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank
Yeah.
you all. Thank you so much.
Let's not say wait, yeah. I need to talk to that guard.
Next,
That guy.
I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn.
Yeah.
How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Lyney's baggage?
Yes, sir, please.
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery?
Lady Furina said it
but
all.
false evidence that you dare to bring before this court?
Lady Furina said it all.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Lyney, but you, yes?
Yes. Come on, boy. Tell everything.
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Bro.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
Coupon Town. Oh, half. Fortress.
I was just following orders. We were
Oh.
supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Lyney, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
You seriously think Forty will let it slide like this? Forty will never get slide something like this.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes?
Yes.
Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration.
Basically drugs.
We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it.
What drug
The
dealer?
disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
The Walter White. Sorry. What the fuck? Did he just? Yeah, he definitely. He's dead. He turned into water. Damn, he's dead.
And now he can no longer talk.
Yeah. Well, that has something.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
Wow. What a wholesome moment, guys.
An outrageous act. All
What a wholesome
present,
moment.
please submit to inspection immediately.
Okay, now this is fucked up. Wow, Fontaine, we fucked up. Just Act 1 and 2 murder happened on scene. First one crush, other ones goes like this. Damn, such a great quest. However, nothing was found on the scene apart from the liquid left behind after this all.
So, we're just going back now?
We can't do nothing. The problem seems to have been stopped for now. We are not needed here anymore.
True, but...
I know
Traveler,
what we
Paimon,
witnessed.
please wait.
What?
Lyney...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me.
Be a best friend with Chad, but we cannot talk to Lyney. The guy who did take... Chad who did take our destination, we are friends with him. And the Lyney who haven't do anything bad. We are not. Wow, Traveler.
Still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just don't wish to see anyone be falsely accused. True, I
guess.
definitely want that.
But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent.
That's true.
I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Lyney this entire time.
Same with Charles, he also do that. Also some other people, so
As
I guess...
for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
Oh, look at Gino.
The knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
Yeah, she's daddy. I mean father.
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets.
Oh, what a heavy start.
To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there.
For a second, I thought recording wasn't happening. So,
to my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever.
I think I can understand that.
Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
Why don't I trust that guy?
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
Then that's only happened in novels.
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks.
So you don't care about
you? He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
Classic human nature.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
Well, it depends.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me.
Okay.
I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
What the fuck? Is it? Seriously? The fuck? I'm lost for words for this thing. She caused the eye of the most. Let's not talk about it. Okay. It's what fucked up. No, that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. That's really fucked up.
Oh no. So he was gonna.
Yeah, that. I don't think I can even say this word in this YouTube. YouTube will demonetize me if I say it again. Still, the fuck it was. Shit. By the way, guys, kids game. A kids game. Damn. Fuck him, bro.
But
what happened next?
Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Ah, classic law. Innocent, always guilty, never get charged. Classic. Violence. What happened after that?
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night.
So-called
But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood.
Fuck. I want to see this scenario now.
Standing there in the darkness.
That knave scenario, I want to see in a cutscene. How cool that would be. But still, let me guess, she killed him pretty badly, and I would be happy if she did it.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
Deserve it. He deserve it.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
Yeah. Have to be. Have to do this another time. Damn, all of them, after all, orphans are pretty easy. Fuck. Okay, now that was fucked up. That's fucked up. The fact something like this also happening in real life is also scare me sometimes. Damn. I'm happy that guy died actually. I'm happy that guy died.
Father, I mean the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer.
And I'm pretty sure she knows something when you see this.
The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here.
I think she care about the children a lot, so I'm pretty she has a soft side for the kids. So I'm pretty sure she just want to help them.
I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The knave is up to no, isn't she?
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
The Tsaritsa, huh? I wonder how she's like, the Tsaritsa. What I had in lunch, there is a soft spot for the Harbinger, like she...
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
We always want to protect our homeland,
From small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I can understand why Gnosis. But would be enough because the prophecies came from the Celestia. I'm sorry, but
it's all right. I understand.
But I can understand.
The only thing I can do is relate all this to you.
Yeah, I can also understand why travelers don't want to do this, but still.
I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Lyney.
Goodbye. Bye, Mom.
Bye, Lyney.
Bye. Now that was some fucked up stuff you just told me, Lyney. I'm pretty sure this might be a... Now that's some fucked up stuff. Fontaine, huh? The quest sighting is happening pretty great, I'm not gonna lie. There's some fucked up stuff.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Damn.
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
I'm sorry, Navia.
What's wrong, my dear partner?
Damn. I was only trying to defend Lyney. I wasn't necessarily looking into the Pain's case. I can't. To be honest, if I've been tribal switch, I might do the same.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now?
Let's talk. Yeah. Traveler main goal is to find his sisters.
And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
I'm pretty sure they won't do a pretty good job.
I see.
Don't be sad.
Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry.
Yeah.
I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
And we were having so much fun investigating with you, too.
Me too.
It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer.
I'm pretty sure we're going to do this anyways because the plot.
Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me.
Same here.
Should we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
A dinner with Navia. Let's go.
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
A dinner with Navia. I need to prepare myself properly for this.
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later.
To be honest, I can't. Wow, Navi and me are so similar. So similar.
Anyway,
Same.
it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Well, let me warn you, Navi. Paimon eat a lot. So we sure. Let's grab a meal then.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navi is treating, count Paimon in.
Also, Navi, Paimon eat a lot. A lot. So please.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then.
Yeah.
Let's have our farewell meal.
Yes. Oh, that one is completed. What's happened? Now I need to go. Now that was some pretty good quest, not gonna lie. The starting of the Fontaine quest happened pretty fucked up, but it was pretty fun. We're going to continue this in the next video.